Do you want to wield the power of machine learning to predict the future? In this video, we're going to explore the magic of forecasting stock prices using Python. But this isn't just about predicting stocks. The skills you'll learn here, from linear regression to handling real-world data, can open doors to so many exciting projects in the world of data science and beyond. So make sure you stick around till the end, because every minute of this video is a step closer to mastering machine learning. Welcome back to another banger video. Today, we're going to be using machine learning to predict stock prices in Python. This is strictly for educational purposes and is not intended to be financial advice, unless you want it to. But yeah, let's hop right into it. So the first thing we're going to have to do is actually import our database or CSV file with our stock prices. So here's an easy way to upload files in Colab. If you're not using Colab, if you're using the desktop version of Jupyter Notebook or and Python, you can just drag the CSV file into the folder and upload it that way. So this stockprices.csv, I got it off of Wall Street Journal. Basically, you just put in any stock you want. I just put in SPY for this, select your time frame, and then click download. It downloads as an Excel file. So from Excel, you're going to have to export it as a CSV so that we can use it here. Alright, next we're going to import some more libraries that we have to use. Alright, so we start by importing our necessary libraries. Pandas is a fantastic library for data manipulation and analysis. NumPy helps with numerical operations. Train, test, split from Sklearn model selection allows us to easily split our data set into training and testing sets. Linear regression from Sklearn linear model is the heart of our prediction model. And finally, Sklearn metrics will provide tools to evaluate our model. All right, next we just have to load in our CSV file. All right, so our first step is to load the data. We're using a CSV file for this example. We load it into a data frame, which is a two-dimensional labeled data structure in Pandas. Just remember to replace stock prices or stock prices.csv with the path to your own file. Right. So next we're gonna convert the date column to date time format, and then to timestamp. Right, so machine learning models require numerical import. Let's just run all of these, make sure it works. All right, looks good. So machine learning models require numerical input. Therefore, we need to convert our date column, which is in this CSV file, from its current string format into a numerical timestamp format. We use the PD to datetime function to convert the date column to datetime format. Then we transform these datetime objects into timestamps representing seconds since 1970 0101 as 000 UTC or something like that. Right? Let's move on. So next we have to declare our features and targets. All right, so in the world of machine learning, X typically represents features or the input data, and Y represents the target variable or what we want to predict. Here, our features are the date and open columns, and our target is the close price. Let's run this. So if you run into an error like this, a key error, the one thing I found was that when downloading data from the Wall Street Journal, at least from the Wall Street Journal, I'm not too sure about the other financial websites that offer historical stock prices, but they actually keep a small space between open and just before open and close. So you can either go into Excel or any CSV editor and fix that, or you can just add a space into our program. All right, now let's split our data into training and testing sets. So we're gonna split our data into a training set and a testing set. This is a common practice in machine learning. It allows us to train our model on a portion of data and then test it on the unseen data. We use 80% of the data for training and keep 20% for testing. All right, let's run this, make sure it's good. All right, now we're gonna actually create and train the model. All right, so now we created our linear regression model. The fit method here is where the actual learning happens. It takes our training data from and performs the calculations needed to find the best fit line. This line will be our prediction tool. All right, so now we're going to calculate some metrics to see how accurate we actually are. All right, so now that our model is trained, we can make predictions on our test set. We then calculate the mean absolute error, or the MAE, a measure of prediction error, and the R-squared score, a statistical measure that represents the portion of the variance for a dependent variable that's explained by the independent variable or independent variables in a regression model. These values help us gauge the performance of our model. So if we run this, we get an R-squared score of 32 and or wait, I did that wrong. I just put 32 instead of R2. All right, so we get an R-squared score of 97.6% and a mean absolute value of 3.17. So this R-squared score means that 97.6% of the variability in our target variable, which is the closing price, can be explained by our opening or our input variables, which was the date and the opening price. The reason that this is so high and so accurate is because there isn't that much stock variability from the open to the close. So it might only move, a few percentage points or even less. So that's why it seems like it's very accurate when in reality, it's just that the stock hasn't moved that much and that we're doing it under a very short time frame. I think it was like 3 years. All right, so finally, we're going to create a user-friendly way to use our model. Code. Alright, so we created a user-friendly way to use our model. We defined a function, which is predict price, that takes a date and an opening price, converts the date into a timestamp, and predicts the closing price. We then ask the user to input a date and an opening price and output the predicted closing price. Right. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed or found it helpful, drop a like, drop a comment down below, and we'll catch you in the next one.